Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fights. I'm delighted to be joined by the ferocious one, George Kambosos Jr. We're here in Oklahoma. I never thought I'd say that, but it feels like we're in the bit of the middle of nowhere. But this is a huge fight for you. It's your official debut with Top Rank after you've now signed with these guys. Big fight against Maxi Hughes. Huge implications for the winner of this fight. How do you feel coming into it?
Yeah, look, I feel great. I feel very refreshed. Very motivated, very hungry, and had an amazing camp. Everything has been pinpoint here in the US, made the sacrifice, and fantastic sparring. We're ready. We're here now, we're in Oklahoma. Top Rank debut, headlining, ESPN. You can't ask for more. This is a great moment in my career to re-show the world who Ferocious Kambosos is again.
You had 3 huge fights back-to-back when you took on the guy who beat the guy in Teofimo Lopez. You proved your point that night, what you were all about. You then had back-to-back with Devin Haney for all the marbles. How does the feeling in them fights differ from this one? Obviously, Maxi Hughes, not as big a name, a bit of an unknown to a lot of people. We know him back in the UK, we know what he brings to the table. How do you feel in comparison to them fights into this one?
Look, I take every opponent, no matter who it is, with the utmost respect and know that what they're trying to bring. So I know what Max is trying to bring. I know what I'm going to bring. I know the better fighter that I have become. And, yes, I've been in the big fights, Teofimo, Devin Haney. I've seen it all. But this is just as big because, this is my opportunity to bounce back, to showcase once again. So I know it's usually what fighters say, that they had the best camp of their life and so, and they just say it for the sake of it. But I really have had the best camp of my life. I feel tremendous. Bringing in, different guys, bringing in dietitian. I don't even feel like we're weighing in tomorrow. That's how good the weight's been. I'm on weight right now. It's incredible. So I just can't wait. I'm very excited. I feel good, and it's going to be a good night on Saturday.
Talk about your team, obviously. I feel like it's still a relatively new team. What have they added to your game? You obviously got a lot of attributes, but what have they brought to the party to help you, become who you are and the fighter we're going to see this Saturday?
I've got a great team. I've got Don House, who's the lead. This guy has had so many world champions, so many great fighters. You name him, he's worked with them. The amount of knowledge this man has in his head is incredible. I've got the assistant, Ramon Matthews Jr., who has come up against under Virgil Hunter, Andre Ward. So he's learnt his craft. Obviously, my Australian coach back home, Chris, has put in extreme amounts of work. And obviously, the cut man sits around. You can't ask for a better team, better corner. We are a world-oiled machine, and we can't wait to make a great statement in this fight. There has been, no stone unturned, and we're going to show it. As much as I can say this and that, we'll get to show it on Saturday night.
What have you learnt about yourself? You've experienced boxing. Everyone says it's the highest highs and the lowest lows. You had that tremendous performance against Teofimo. Then no shame, you lost twice to Devin Haney, but like you said, he's a world class. So that's what happens when you fight the elite. What have you learnt about yourself? Have you found any stumbling blocks? Have you seen? People mentioned where you've seen maybe mistakes or things you've said in interviews. Have you sort of had to go back to the drawing board and maybe check yourself a little bit and go, right, what am I doing here that I need to either take out or add? What were the mistakes you made?
Definitely, we have added so much more. Look, I can't go through every single one. I'm not going to give away every single one. But we have made the right changes and added the right artillery into my mindset and into my game. Like I said up there, one of the things is I'm greedy right now. I'm not talking about money. I'm greedy in that ring. Every opportunity with what I present is going to be there. I'm going to take it with both hands, and if he's not fully prepared, it's going to be a very, very bad night for him. It's going to be a world of pain.
Maxi Hughes has been through a lot himself in his career. He was at a point of nearly stopping fighting a few years gone by now, and he's on a terrific run of form at the minute. But like you said, this is a different level. What do you make of him as a fighter? I'm assuming you've obviously had to watch tape. I'm assuming your team has watched fights on him and what he does. What do you make of him as a fighter before you share the ring this Saturday?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter from the UK. He's a tough Englishman. We give him the utmost respect. There is no disrespect there. But when we talk about the guys he's fought, the 7-fight win streak, okay, we know who they are. They're not massive names. They're not guys that are the Lopez's and the Devin Haneys. But he's done what he's had to do, and we respect that. And he's given himself, the opportunity to be in that pool of certain guys that, we looked at. And he was one of the guys, and we chose him, and we're excited for it. We know what he's going to try to bring, and we know what we bring. So it's like chess and checkers. It's two different games.
After this fight, touch wood, you'll be assuming obviously that you get the victory. What does a victory do? We talk about it's for the IBO World title. You've held world titles before. You've had all the marbles. But what does this do for you? What is the goal for you? You've had all the belts at one point, so you're already cemented in the history books of boxing. No one can take that away from you. But what is it left? Is it money? Is it legacy? What is it? Is it for the family? What is it?
Look, like you said, I've got all the belts sitting at home. I don't have the IBO. So I'm very, very motivated to get that belt. As much as everyone says, it's a secondary world title, big deal. I want that belt. I'm greedy. I want that belt. I want to give it to my son. And it's what's left and what's the motivation, is the competitive nature that I have, the warrior instinct that I have, and knowing that you can come off, a loss to one guy and prove the world, again, and show the world that we've become better from this kind of fight. So, we're excited, we're ready, and whatever Maxi tries to bring and present, we have seen it before. We're ready for it.
In terms of motivation, once you do hit the top, a lot of people talk about, it's hard to go running out in silk pajamas and all them old phrases that people, But how have you found?
I don't wear pajamas. I sleep naked, so I don't wear pajamas. So for me, I get up early in the morning. Listen.
Has it been hard at some point though? Have you found that, when you got that and you were trying to get the fights with Devin, has it sat with you and gone, kind of thing? Has that ever left at all, or you've had to sort of wire yourself up again?
You got to ask my wife. I'm sitting there a day after the Devin Haney fight, and Maxi touched on it. I didn't want to really touch on it. He said he took a week off. I don't take even a day off. You can ask my team and my wife. Straight after the Devin Haney fight, cuts and bruises all over my face. I'm back in the gym. Did I have a fight lined up? Was I going to take time off where I wasn't fighting? And when I say take time off, not from the gym. I'm always in the gym. I'm always putting in work. The motivation is always there. This is more than belts. This is more than money. This is about legacy. Yes, I'm a prize fighter and I've earned what I've earned, but that is not the motivating factor. That is not, wow, I've got this much and I should sit back and rest on my laurels. Or I've got all these beautiful belts sitting at home. It's not about that. It's about a whole different competitive nature in me.
One thing I've picked up on stage, you're very locked in for this fight, and it'd be easier a guy in your position to, don't want to say overlook, but maybe have further thoughts. And I can tell you don't. But you must see the landscape of these divisions, your division, the one above, and all the big names that are flying around. We saw Gervonta Ryan Garcia, we've seen the Devin Haneys. You must have an idea of these guys who you wanting to fight. Who's the one guy you want to share a ring with? Who is it? Who do you want to share a ring and say, you know what, I've done it. You've been TO before, you've been with Devin Haney. You have to get past Maxi, that's no easy feat. Who is it? Who's that guy?
Maxi Hughes right now. I don't fall into any traps. Look, I know what's to come. I know what's there. I know that the big stadium fight to come. But my focus is on Maxi Hughes. I don't think about anybody else except for him and taking his head clean off. And that's no disrespect, but he's going to be in a world of punishment. Like I said, I'm greedy, and he's going to have to pay for the sacrifice that I've made in this camp.
Okay, you mentioned obviously it's your son's birthday this Saturday. You've got a message for your family and supporters who maybe aren't here but will be watching you back home. We know you've got a lot.
Yeah, it's my son's birthday on the day of the fight. It's actually my daughter's birthday the day before, so tomorrow. It's incredible. One turns 6, one turns 4. And there's a lot of motivation there. This is for my family, for my kids. And still building the legacy, for the Kambosos name. That's the motivating factor. But also the factor of, coming off a loss, right, or a failure. As a father, as a role model, obviously in Australia and the world, so many people looking up to me.
Has it made you hungry?
It makes me extremely hungry because it gives me the motivating factor to show that you can come from a loss or a failure in life and bounce back and get back to the top. So that is a factor in my motivation as well, plus so much so. All the fans, all the worldwide fans and the fans supporting Australia and Greece and here in the US, Kambosos is back, he's ready, and we can't wait for Saturday.
Well, look, George, I appreciate you giving us so much of your time. The UK fans are more than familiar with you, and they'll all be tuning in this Saturday. Good luck, wish you all the best.